Welcome to Sports News. Current World Footballer of the Year Cristiano Ronaldo is again in contention for the 2014 FIFA Ballon d'Or award. In the final three-man shortlist unveiled earlier today, Ronaldo will contest for the honors against Lionel Messi and World Cup winning goalkeeper Manuel Neuer. Ronaldo helped Real Madrid end their hunt for an elusive 10th UEFA Champions League crown. Messi, on the other hand, helped Argentina reach the World Cup final before they lost in extra time to Germany. More awards this time. Algeria's Yassine Ibrahimi has been voted the BBC African Footballer of the Year for 2014. Brahimi becomes the first Algerian to win the award, which is decided by football fans. After a record number of votes were submitted from fans in 207 FIFA-registered countries, the 24-year-old came out on top ahead of Nigeria's Vincent Enyama, Gabonese Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and the Ivorian pair of Gervinho and Yaya Touré. In the meantime, 16 nations that will slug it out in the next year's African Cup of Nations in Equatorial Guinea eagerly await their opponents in Wednesday's draw. The Confederation of African Football has unveiled the pots for Wednesday's draw to be conducted in the Equatorial Guinea capital, Malabo. The teams have been divided into 4 pots based on their rankings. One team each from the pots will make up the 4 groups to contest the round-robin stage. And to internationals involving Nigeria, 22 players out of the 30 invited have so far reported to the Flying Eagles training camp in Kaduna for a 2-month camping program ahead of the 2015 African Youth Championship. The players include the only foreign-based invitee and FC Porto striker Jacob Njoku, Musa Newman from Sunshine Stars, Prince Izu Omego, Wilfred Ndidi, Abdullahi Alfa, Ifanyi Nweke, and Mustafa Abdullahi. This training camp is mostly for players who are based locally, as another screening exercise will be conducted for overseas pros early next year. And in tennis, British #1 Andy Murray says he is looking forward to the first Grand Slam of 2015, the Australian Open. Murray is confident he can get back his form after a disappointing playing year. After his loss to Roger Federer at the ATP World Tour Finals in London, Murray changed his coaching team, ending a long-time working relationship with friends Danny Valverde and Jez Green. That's it on Sports News. It's back to Sulaiman with the rest of the news at 10.
While on the foreign scene, the head of the United Nations Ebola Response Mission has revealed that there's still a huge risk the deadly disease could spread to other parts of the world. Here's Cynthia Are with more.
Well, thanks a lot, Sulai. Tony Banbury did reveal that piece of information, but declined to say if targets he set in the fight against Ebola to be achieved by the end of today had been met. The targets were for the proportion of people being treated and for the safe burial of highly infectious bodies. The UN boss was speaking in Freetown, one of the worst affected areas. Also today, the World Food Programme, WFP, has been forced to suspend a critical aid scheme for more than 1.7 million Syrian refugees because of a funding crisis. The UN agency said the program gave refugees in Jordan, Lebanon, Turkey, Iraq and Egypt vouchers to buy food. It also warned that without such assistance, many families would go hungry this winter. And finally, a Hong Kong chief executive has warned pro-democracy activists not to return to the streets following violence overnight. His comments come after some of the worst clashes between protesters and police since the pro-democracy demonstrations began 2 months ago. Police armed with pepper spray, batons and water hoses cleared activists from Long Wu Road in the Admiralty district. Well, that's the foreign news wrap-up. It's back to you, Zulai.
Thank you, Cynthia. Now, on the foreign entertainment news, Afrobeat legend Femi Kuti shares shocking story about paternity of 2 of his children. Maiwa Gundele has more on this.
Here are your trending entertainment stories. Afrobeat legend and four-time Grammy Awards nominee Femi Anikulapo Kuti has revealed why he had a paternity test carried out on all his children. The singer told Entertainment News on Channels TV that the test, which was carried out about 8 years ago, was done because he found out that one of his baby mamas was unfaithful.
There was something that was on Twitter that I did a DNA about my children and two were not my own. This is something that happened 8 years ago, to be precise. One of my girlfriends was caught on the phone talking to her lover, whoever, and a very close family member walked in, and I said, you are talking to your boyfriend, and she put her leg on my table, and she didn't know I was standing beside her. Yes, darling. Oh, darling. And she didn't know because she thought I was in the bathroom, and I walked out.
You can catch the full interview on our Entertainment News magazine on Saturday at 9 p.m. Moving on now, the cast and crew members of the Desmond Elliott-directed action comedy Birthday Bash stepped out to usher the movie to the big screens over the weekend. The film stars comedian Julius Agu, new rave of the moment Yul Edochie, Funky Malam, and Topper Tedola chronicles the chain of events after two armed robbery gangs attempt to rob the same upscale event.
I don't tire, Papa. See, you don't tire. You don't tire. I don't tire. I don't tire. I don't tire. I go kill a person. See.
And filmmaker Victor Ohai has called on other Nollywood actors to seek more collaborations within Africa, rather than making desperate moves to collaborate with Hollywood filmmakers. The producer, director, and cinematographer told Channels Television at a Pan-African short film screening event in Lagos that there is more to benefit if African filmmakers collaborate with each other, rather than paying top money only to collaborate with C-list Hollywood actors and filmmakers.
I think it's going to be beneficial if we look across the continent and collaborate with each other. We can leave Hollywood where it is for now.
And that's all for today. It's back to the main news.
On the main news again, the military has repelled an attack by Boko Haram insurgents on Damaturu, the capital of Yobe State, after the insurgents attempted to overrun the city. The federal government has ordered a halt to the ongoing United States training for the Nigerian army after the United States refused to sell Cobra attack helicopters to Nigeria. The training, which was at Nigeria's request, was designed to help the country battle Boko Haram. And following the United States' refusal to supply military hardware, Nigeria has now turned to Russia for assistance. According to a report from Dabina Advisors, Nigeria is to secure a 1 billion naira loan from a Russian bank to purchase Russian-made helicopter gunships and other arms, including fighter planes from Russia's weapons industries. President Goodluck Jonathan is expected to visit Moscow before the year's end to seal the deal if ongoing negotiations are successful. That's the news at 10 tonight. Well, thank you for watching.